You came here because something is interesting you about how my brain works. Well, I'm a little bit interested also. I've been growing over the last 10 years, from my teen years to my young adult years to now my closer to responsible adult years. And it is time to take a look at my personality test again. Let's just play around with our brain and see how we're doing after a lot more life than when I was younger. We have a personality test on 16personalities.com/personality test. Okay. Now, we're going to complete the test, view our results, and then this company offers some premium guides in case you want to work on your personality a little bit more. Let's see. Starting off. Okay. You regularly make new friends. Yes. I am so excited to meet new people. I feel like this energy just flies through me when I get new information from someone, and something fires and wires and I find a conversation to have with this person, and it's warm and lovely, and I love the human experience. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Yes, definitely. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. I'm gonna put that towards disagree. That is something that has changed over the years. I don't fully empathize anymore. When I say fully empathize, I internalize the empathy because I turn into a motherly role. I kind of swallow their feelings. And the first thing I think of is, okay, what do I say? What do they need? I start to analyze their feelings. Are they okay? What should I say? Should I give them a hug? And I feel that I have to be strong for them. And I kind of keep myself strong. If I'm crying, I cry for like 3 days. And then I feel good afterwards. So there's also a movie called Hachiko. If you know the movie, you know. If you really feel like you need to cry, watch Hachiko. There's a Japanese version, but there's also a classic early 2000s Hallmark film, basically. I'm not sure if it's Hallmark, but you get the point. It's not bad. You can still get fully into it, get into the characters, and fall in love too. Be ready to cry. Let's move on. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. Guaranteed. Give me a bigger circle. So unfortunately, my life has been kind of unpredictable in the best way. Let's say dynamic, with full of surprises, unlocking the full potential of my business continuity planning that I learned in my first internship, let's say. But it's crucial to be able to get the party started and restarted as life twists and turns. And I'm super appreciative that I was able to kind of get tested at a young age for that. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I'm gonna give minus myself one. I do get a little bit intense if it's too intense of a situation. So I wouldn't say I'm calm, but I do like handle the situation. Like I could get a little aggressive, go into my leader mode, go into my, I don't know where I go. It's part of that kind of like I want to protect everyone here mode, like Mama Bear. I keep bringing up Mama Bear because I just feel like that's the role that I'm filling into, and I always have. So it defines me pretty well if you do know me. But anyways, I do protect people, and that is why I call myself the motherly role. You can also call me a very protective person. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. No, highly disagree. I genuinely like to bring new people into the mix and kind of create a new dimension. And it is always so much fun to take someone you do know with someone you just met. And it's so much like an explosion of new topics to talk about. You get to know your friend even more. It's fantastic. I strongly recommend it. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. Absolutely disagree. I am the queen of opening 400 projects and then doing about 2 of them. And honestly, most of the time I don't even do all of the projects. I find a new project after the 40 and I just do that one. So I do like to brainstorm so much because it then guides me to what I should be doing, because I kind of create these potential timelines. And you are very sentimental. I'm putting it perfectly in the middle. As I mentioned, over the years, I was extremely soft. I was extremely sentimental. But now, I would say I'm going towards the maturing of emotional strength. And that's where I don't sentimentalize things. I started living with a backpack. I left all of my personal belongings behind, and you just change your relationship to stuff that is physical and people, and even those connections. You like organizing tools like schedules and lists. I used to. So this is another one where things are changing. I don't really create schedules that work anymore. Once again, I was kind of saying I like to brainstorm, create maps, and it's kind of to journal. There's reasons for journaling, to kind of keep our brain understanding where we are, where we were, where we are going. And that's what I think of schedules and lists at this point in my life. And I do it, but then I usually don't follow it. I follow one path that I find that works, because you have to adapt to what's happening every day. That's where I'm going with this. I'm going to put it kind of one disagree. A small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I'm gonna put myself a little vulnerable here. I have found, because of all the change in my life, I have become a little bit more vulnerable than I ever have been. So that would cause me to feel a little bit of doubt, more than the extroverted confidence that I had built in my early teens and in my young adult years. Now there's quite a humbling and definitely a kick in the butt. So I'm going to say that, yeah, sometimes I'm not as bold and crazy, excited to try something. I feel a little more realistic, but it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just a humbling. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting. Absolutely. Like I said, hey, I look forward to showing this personality on this YouTube channel. So if you're just getting started on this YouTube channel and you find this video, I hope you get a chance to get to know me, because I look forward to having these kind of interesting conversations with you and hearing your feedback and kind of getting the ball rolling, because I really look forward to continuing this dynamic with this new dimension. The online world is what I mean. You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analysis of creative works. So as a very analytical engineering mind, I'm gonna just press disagree. I call myself a creative. I played multiple instruments growing up, and I was drawing and painting, and I loved music and dance. Yeah, right? Creative. And I'm trying to say disagree. Well, however, once my logical mind started fighting with my creative mind, I found that my creativity was also a bit logical. So I'm just gonna give this a big disagree and say, if you have any idea what I just said, please tell me in the comments and say that you understand me. That would be cool. Alright, okay, we're only at 20%, so let's move a little bit quicker. You are more inclined to follow your head than your heart. I'm such a softie, so I do fight with myself. I'm gonna put it towards follow your head than your heart. No, I'm gonna put this towards disagree. I do. The heart wins often. I fight it. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. I'm putting that towards disagree now, as we talked about before, where I have a schedule, but then it always adapts. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. This has definitely changed now in the recent years. Now I have reached a different form of confidence, a different form of my identity, where I left that, need to impress this awesome entrepreneur or fantastic professor that I want to work with, because I feel like opportunity continues to come and go, and whatever happens, happens. And I don't say that so freely, but you do have to accept that to continue through life's twists and turns. So you rarely worry about whether you can make a good impression on people. Rarely. So I rarely worry. No, I don't rarely worry, but I'm not going to put the big disagree. I'm going to put it a little bit. You enjoy participating in group activities. I'm going to put this at medium agree. I love group activities, but I do love to be by myself. It is not being by yourself. It's just a part of life, is that, sometimes you have to just sit down, work independently, spend time with yourself. Let's not get too into it now. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. Absolutely not. Fully disagree. I love a happy ending. I don't watch movies to then create a new ending, okay? I want to be told a fantastic story. I want to fall in love with the characters, and then I want to go on twists and turns with them. I want to be lied to about their potential, gruesome deaths. Sorry, that was awful, but the point is, no. I watch movies to relax. I want a nice story from A to Z. When I was younger, actually, I wrote the ending of a cliffhanger in my language arts literacy class, where the professor, I respect you, Mr. O.D. The ending of the story was a cliffhanger, where my best friend and I at the time, we decided to rewrite the ending for everybody because we were so creative. See, I was creative. But then he has been reusing the ending of my story to teach his students that story for 10 years now, and I don't know what to do with that information. I feel so special. I would love to find that story and read it to everyone, because that was fun. It's such an honor, to be honest. I have to find the story and read it. Your happiness comes from more helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. I almost want to put big agree, but I do want to put a little bit less, because I do care about myself. But I do feel the other people's success a lot stronger, and that's part of my coming into this next phase, is to balance everything. I love giving, I love helping, because then I feel like I've done something right, and then I want to balance completely celebrating me. Okay, let's get into it. You are interested in so many things that you find difficult to choose what to try next. Okay, yeah. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worst. Well, that's just disaster planning from a person who's actually encountered challenges. You have to. So I don't want to call it worrying, but I'm going to give it a plus. You avoid leadership roles. Absolutely disagree. I'm always the first person to volunteer myself. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. Neutral. I'm both. And like I said, I do choose the logical mind, but I do love me some creativity. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. I say this because I've seen the manipulation on both ends, on an angry person and on an overly soft person who's going through a tough time, perhaps. I don't know what to say. Given how my experiences with total robots, actual technology, I do appreciate people's feelings. So I'm going to say I disagree, because sometimes people's feelings are helpful. And even if someone is upset, that gives you information that you didn't have before. You can always work through that. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Yeah, I'm giving it maybe a bigger one. I love to make sure the room is clean, because then I feel like my mind is clean. So something my mom taught me. You enjoy watching other people argue. No, I hate it. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Absolutely. I can't avoid it. I'm quite tall and I'm a little bit loud, unfortunately, so I don't like the attention because being tall and being loud. And then I put myself as the sole person in certain situations. Perhaps, I was a student in my engineering school, one of the only females. In some circumstances, then I put myself in situations where I'm the only blonde person. I'm spending time in Turkey where I'm in an area that is not full of any foreigners. I am the only blonde. I don't want to be mean. I was just gonna say the only natural blonde. I love Turkey, but I do stand out quite a bit. I'm quite tall, taller than the average woman that I've met. Except I did meet a lovely woman in my university. She's much taller than me, and I love meeting a lovely tall girl. Tall girls, write to me in the comments. I'd love to meet you. So the point is, I don't like attention because I get enough. Your mood can change very quickly. I don't know how to answer this. I'm gonna say yes, because everyone's mood can change. Okay, we're not getting into that one. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Can't get that one easily. Coaching takes a lot, and I've coached, I've taught, I've been patient, I've helped, so that's why sometimes it's tough. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Not really. Double not really. You have always been fascinated by the question of what if anything happens after death. I have not always been fascinated. Okay, we're at 50%. Let's keep rocking. I'm gonna take a quick break and have some water. I'll see you soon. Hey, and we're back. Okay, you usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. I mentioned before that I do enjoy being solo, so I'm not going to put it as a big, I love people. Sometimes. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I don't know. As an academic lover, I'm not an academic, but I can really get deep into some stories, so even though I'm calling myself a very realistic person, theoretically, it's hard. I want to answer them. I want to give real data. I'm going to say I don't really get bored. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different than yours. Yeah, I make connections. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. Yeah. I'm that big. Sometimes I'm hit on the nose, or sometimes I just really avoid making the decision until the decision is made on its own, and it's a terrible thing. But like I said, I can be green, yellow, red. It depends. You rarely second guess the choices you've made. It's a natural emotion to kind of second guess yourself. You can't pretend that you're in a perfect society where, every minute of the day you say it's fine. Sometimes it sucks. Rarely second guess. I rarely second guess. Yes, I agree. After a long and exhausting week, you live a lively social event is just what you need. In the past, now no. You enjoy going to art museums. In the past, now no. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings, strongly disagree. You like to have a lot of to-do lists for each day. No, I make a to-do list for each day and I don't do it, so no, I don't like to do that. I like to have it. I do. You rarely feel insecure. Disagree. I rarely feel insecure. Disagree. Happens. I put myself in a lot of uncomfortable situations, so it comes and goes. You avoid making phone calls. Sometimes. I'll give myself a point. Now it'll come back, but sometimes I really do. I just kind of love email because you can keep a log of what person said. That's the tough part. I do miss, texting and calling for other reasons, but you do need to Get your back covered, unfortunately. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. No. I appreciate other people's opinions, but I don't kind of research everything that their opinion doesn't matter to me that much. Pardon me, I had a couple itches here, so excuse me, in this video. In your social circle, you're often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. Yes, I am. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. No, I kind of make new plans. You are still bothered by mistakes. Yeah, happens. Some mistakes are bigger than others. Like I said, you can't act as perfect. It's not real. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Yes. I rarely contemplate it. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Sometimes. I have a lot of happy right, you can look at this and say, oh my gosh, you're emotional and you may make bad decisions. I'm actually a very happy person also, and I get really excited. And I positively look forward to things, so that's where I say yes to exciting adventures, beforehand. You take great care not to make people look bad, even if they're completely their fault. As a manager, I really honestly enjoyed the task of making things look better. It was fun. Okay, 80%, let's rock and roll. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energies than organized and consistent efforts. No. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. It's as if this is a professional personality test. That's interesting to think about. No, what do you wonder? No, I don't wonder, but it is natural. Like, it does happen. Some people, they get so excited to meet you and then they completely fall off. It's not something I wonder about, but it is a tough thing sometimes. Meeting a lot of people and moving a lot. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. No, not most of the time. Sometimes. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I love philosophical, deep questions. So it is not a waste of time. I am not that philosophical, though. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling... No. I like a little bit more quiet style now, for sure. I like smaller crowds. I like, from a distance, big crowds, for sure. On TV... You know at first glance how someone is feeling. I feel like I can try. I'm going to give myself a pretty high end on that. Okay, coming to the end. You often feel overwhelmed. Yes, because I put too much on my plate all the time, but it makes me feel excited, and I give myself a lot of breaks, so. You complete things methodically with never. I never complete things like I used to. I used to be a very disciplined soldier. No disrespect to actual military, but I felt like I really needed to do it to get through the day, but now I love to skip steps. I don't like controversial things. You would pass along a good opportunity if you felt someone else needed it more. A little bit disagree. I'm trying to get a little more selfish now. You struggle with deadlines? Sometimes. In the past, no. But now, like I said, I juggle my hierarchy of importance and priority differently. You feel confident that things will work out for you. Yes. An optional question. This will determine your avatar in the results screen. Really? Let's see what we got. I am an entertainer. Okay. Entertainers are spontaneous, energetic, and enthusiastic people. Life is never boring around them. Wait, ESFPT. My mind is 67% extroverted. Extroverted individuals readily enjoy group activities and value social interaction. They tend to be outwardly enthusiastic and express their excitement. 60% observant. Okay, observant individuals are pragmatic and down to earth. They tend to have a strong focus on what is happening or very likely to happen. Cool. That was for energy. My nature is more feeling than thinking. I did answer a couple questions that said I work with my feelings more. 66% is fair. I'd say a little more than half because I am half and half, and then give me a little more happiness or love. Feeling individuals value emotional expression and sensitivity. They place a lot of importance on empathy, social harmony, and cooperation. My tactics, only 50% prospecting versus judging. Prospecting individuals are very good at improvising and adapting to opportunities. They tend to be flexible nonconformists who value novelty above stability. Turbulent identity. More than assertive. Interesting. Turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. Okay, I did answer a couple questions a little bit honestly about how I've been a bit vulnerable in some areas. They sense a sense of urgency in their emotions and tend to be success-driven, perfectionist, and eager to improve. I'll take it. Alrighty. Okay, well that's all for today's video. It's been so much fun to get to know you, get to know me, and have a good one.